All right, so we got another cross versus battle. All right, we have Sanji versus Rock Lee, both pre-time skip forms, right? Pre-time skip forms. So Sanji has Diable Jambe, but he don't have armament hockey, right? He don't have none of that yet. But Rock Lee has up to the fifth gate taijutsu, right? And they're fighting in both universes, right? So scenario one will be in One Piece. They'll be fighting on the Sunny for that. All right, that's the specific area in One Piece, right? And then in the second scenario, we'll have guess what? We'll have Rock Lee fighting against Sanji in the Hidden Leaf Village, just in like anywhere in the Hidden Leaf Village, by like the ramen shop or wherever the fuck it just broke out in the street. So, and you're gonna be surprised at what I say, because it's kind of a surprise. It kind of is. You know, so strength, no, it is strength is Rock Lee. Rock Lee wins. In physical strength. We know why, right? Because Rock Lee has certain powers at his disposal. We'll get into that in a minute. Speed goes to Rock Lee as well for the same reasons. Durability, however, goes to Sanji. And I do know this about Sanji too. I understand that Sanji was kind of his durability was kind of shoddy, pre-time skip. But even so, he was still more durable than your average guy. And Rock Lee, he's usually more offensive, right? So he ain't taking any damage. But let's say he does slow down, and Sanji's not that as slow as you think he is, man. He's gonna like catch Rock Lee in this fight, even if he's in like one of the gates. Endurance goes to Sanji, and you know what Rock Lee's abilities are, so you know what's gonna hold him back a little bit. And it's not because it's a double edged sword for this young man, right? We got intelligence going to Sanji. Sanji got intelligence over Rock Lee. He's a little smarter. He'll figure out that this man is using a certain technique to keep up with him, and then to then go beyond him, because he will be able to do that for like not an extended period of time, for a very short amount of time. You gotta remember how it was depicted in the anime, y'all. Experience is Sanji. Sanji got experience, right? Rock Lee has experience too, but Sanji has a little more. He fought against monsters. Rock Lee did. That's true, but guess what? Sanji fought against his fair share of beasts too, 3 times good. Close skills go to Sanji, and I know exactly where y'all are going. You're like, but what? Because he has taijutsu and da 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 da. Sanji, all he has is his legs, and that's all he uses. That's all he uses to fight. He don't use nothing else. He has to get up close and kick you in the face, and shit like that. Rock Lee can do that, but he also has range skills. And this is where Rock Lee has the range skills, right? He's a ninja. He does carry ninja tools on him, possibly. And that is a possibility, but, highly unlikely. But, it's still at his disposal, right? And then he also has those, the wrap around his arm. He does that shit. He pulls people in with the wrap. He'll wrap your arm up, and then he'll pull you in and attack you with it. He uses it to, pull you in. Now, the recoup goes to Sanji. Rock Lee, you remember what happened to him? He kind of, and I'm not saying these guys are known for getting the, recoup abilities or anything, but out of the two, I think Sanji has better recovery. Now, hacks go to Rock Lee. This is where you knock your fans like, but guess what? Rock Lee goes up to the fifth gate. Now, there's ways this fight can go, right? So the environment goes to Sanji here in the One Piece world. He don't have to worry about the water and shit as much because he's not a devil fruit user. But this is where it's interesting, right? If you think that Rock Lee, he's not gonna do that here. I'll explain what I mean. So here, he's gonna use the gates right away. He's gonna use the gates right away. He's in a world he doesn't understand, so he's gonna use the gates right away. And what I mean by that, he's gonna use the max. So he's gonna go into gear, or he's gonna go into the fifth gate right away. And once he hits this gate right away, he's gonna be doing shit to Sanji. Sanji's gonna be thrown off. He's gonna be like, "Oh fuck," this boy's like, low key beating my ass. But then, what happens, man? He breaks the fuck down. His body breaks down. It's he's not like Mike Guy. They're not the same fucking characters, yo. For that reason, Sanji wins in his world high to extreme diff. He's gonna do that shit right away. Now in the Naruto world, it's different though how he approaches this situation because he's in Naruto, so he's a little more level headed about this. But strength goes to Rock Lee, physical strength. Speed goes to Rock Lee. Durability goes to Sanji. Endurance goes to Sanji. Intelligence goes to Sanji. Experience goes to Sanji as well. And close skills also go to Sanji, right? And you people, if you do this, like I ain't gonna get mad if you said that, Rock Lee has close skills, right? Because we understand that taijutsu, you gotta be in close quarters for that. But he has range skills he uses too, where Sanji don't. Recoup goes to Rock Lee. Or it goes to Sanji here. Sanji got Recoup. Barely though, right? Hacks go to Rock Lee. The fifth gate is nothing to like sneeze at. But it's just the fifth gate. We don't give it don't get the eighth gate treatment. That's why there's levels to it, fools. Alright? You gotta watch the show and listen to what they say. It exerts a lot of stress on the body. That's what you gotta remember. That's why Sandy has better endurance during this fight. Environment goes to Rock Lee. Even so, Sanji wins high to extreme diff. Well, actually, extreme difficulty in this fight. Just automatically extreme difficulty, but Sanji wins. People were expecting me to give a dub to Rock Lee here, but I'm like, no. Sanji can play a longer game if he needs to. He's not like Luffy or Zoro in that way, but he is though. He's like the weaker of the three, right? Of that monster trio, he's the weaker of the three, but he's still like that. That's why it's a monster trio. Him, Luffy, and Zoro, right? Rock Lee has those, feats of using the fifth gate against some real fucking monsters like Kimimaro and Gara. Gara first and then Kimimaro later, right? But he wasn't using the gates fully because in the first fight he wasn't enough against the Jinchuriki, right? With the five gates. So we say all that to say Sanji wins in both scenarios. If you don't like that, leave comments if you don't like it. Tell me why you don't. Tell me where I might be, wrong and shit like that. How you see it and stuff, right? But be cool, call on the corner and let me know that shit in the comments.